I think it's a revolutionary historical deal between OpenAI and Apple. I mean, these are two forces joining together. And when you look at Apple, biggest install base in the world, 2.2 billion iOS devices, and the best AI technology in the world is OpenAI. So I view this as really the start of a partnership that's actually going to get even stronger over the coming years.
Is it a game changer for Apple's competitors?
I think it's a shot across the bow for Apple to their tech competitors because Apple has the customers. You have 1.5 billion iPhones. So those customers reside in Apple's ecosystem. And that's why you even see some of the comments from Musk and others, because this is really Apple saying that in order to do consumer AI, you're going to have to come through the Apple castle.
You're referring there to Elon Musk's comments after the announcement that he'll ban Apple devices with OpenAI from his companies. Is this a stumbling block for Apple?
Look, I think it's Musk being Musk, probably stressed going into the shareholder meeting this week. I don't see Musk actually banning Apple devices, but it hits on a hot button issue where Apple owns the OS with OpenAI. It's all about privacy. And that's why, I mean, privacy must have been said 20 times, when I was there in Apple Park today, because that's a huge differentiator for Apple versus other big tech players, where your data is ultimately what they monetize, Google, Meta, and others.
Why is Apple so certain consumers want ChatGPT in their phones?
Well, look, this AI revolution is coming to the consumer. Now, today it's the enterprise, NVIDIA, Microsoft, everything we see on semis and software. But if you look at the consumer AI technology, it's essentially going to be an AI brain in a phone that's going to know the consumer, know the owners, understand the behaviors. And that's on that more and more apps. Hundreds of apps over time are going to get built around this. This is a fourth industrial revolution that's playing out. And it's no different than going from the traditional, you know, Model T to the next version of the automobiles.
How big a risk is it for Apple in terms of how it's moving ahead of regulators? Governments in many jurisdictions are still mulling over how best to protect people from the potential harms of this tech.
Yeah, I think with AI, a lot of it's going to be self-regulation. I mean, regulators, they're going 35 miles an hour in a minivan in the right lane, and the technologies in a Bugatti going 100 miles an hour in the left lane. And I think that's the issue, is that labs can be self-regulation. You'll have Brussels, Beltway, and others that will, scream around AI, but it's coming. And I think that was what was really front and center today. I think the biggest takeaway is that this AI revolution is now coming to the consumer, and it's coming through Cupertino.
Apple products are priced at a premium. How big do you think the waiting lists will be to buy these products once Apple Intelligence launches?
Yeah, I mean, for Apple users, it's essentially free. Now it comes down to, do they actually get Android users that go to Apple because they want to actually have access to this data and Apple Intelligence? I think eventually down the road, there'll be a subscription service, some sort of tiered premium service. But at least for now, this is something as an Apple user you're going to get access to.
Only if you've got the latest model phone, though. Do you expect this will see many people want to upgrade their handsets?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a massive catalyst for upgrades. I mean, I think it's essentially an AI driven super cycle that's now going to take place for Apple. 270 million iPhones of the 1.5 billion have not upgraded in 4+ years.
The immediate reaction from investors wasn't as bullish as your take. Why did the share price drop?
I mean, I can tell you in 15+ years covering Apple, many times these events it's selling the news. But I think over months and over the year, many times that was proven to probably be the wrong move. I think there was the wow factor there today. I think in isolation, some might say it was underwhelming. I actually think they hit a home run. I think when you take the event in the totality, I think it's a historical day for Apple. I'd say a top three historical moment for Cook and Cupertino.
What price do you put on Apple's growth strategy and where do you see the stock going?
Well, I think a year from now, we're looking at a $4 trillion market cap. I think AI is worth $30 to $40 per share to Apple. And betting against Cook and Cupertino has been the wrong move. And now this shows the AI party. It's only 9 p.m. and this party's going till 4 or 5 a.m.
Dan Ives, thank you.
Thank you.